In order to stand in the NBA, you need to have something special. You have to be born with that special gene that turns you into a freak. Some players thrive due to their efforts, others due to their discipline, others thanks to the system they play in, but over the course of history, we've witnessed a handful of players that look naturally born to dominate the league. These players may not be the best players in basketball history, but their given talents put them on a class of themselves when compared with your average ballers. What's good, YouTube? Today I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the 10 greatest freak of natures currently in the NBA. And let's get into it with number 10, Tacko Fall. Tacko Fall has been the most quietly talked about player over the past few months, and everyone wants to see the 7'7" giant succeed in the league. He's nowhere short of the physical tools. He's definitely not a freak athlete because he only has a 26-inch vertical jump, but he's a freaking nature in every other sense of the phrase. You might have heard some of these numbers about him before, but if you don't, here's how Tacko stack up to the two previous NBA draft combine record holders for wingspan and standing reach. And keep in mind that Rudy Gobert's numbers were both thought of as mind-blowing when they came out. What's mind-blowing about Tacko though is that with his 10'2" standing reach, he can basically dunk the ball without jumping. Then you combine his 26-inch vertical with his height, and to give him an NBA combine record 12'5" max reach. That's crazy. Number 9, Kristaps Porzingis. Porzingis, who may very well be the most impressive on this list, because if you think he only made it for the fact that he's only 7'3", you're in for a big surprise. First of all, we'll say that Porzingis isn't like any other of the 25 players over 7'3" in NBA history. He doesn't play down low on the block, just protecting the rim and scoring in the post. He plays more from the outside in, and that's due to the fact that he played point guard for most of his childhood. And as he got older and taller, he just stuck to the position until he was 6'8" at 15 years old, which is when he slowly started working his way through all 5 positions. But no matter what position he played, even when he tried power forward and center, growing up in Latvia, only NBA basketball he was able to watch was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant tapes that his parents had. The thing is that he eventually grew to 7'3", but him growing up and using that playstyle is what kept him so mobile and led him to being able to move better than most guys of his size in NBA history. The fact that he completed in 2.3 seconds the drill of dribbling in narrow between 3 posts is really insane for his height. Also, Porzingis' max vertical is 37.5 inches, 2 inches higher than a prime Dwight Howard and Blake Griffin. That's impressive to think about for his size. Number 8, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook is a weird one because there's no doubt that he's a freak of nature in very sense of it. But if you were looking at him just on paper, you probably would have never guessed he was a freak of nature. He's the fastest player in the NBA, and that right there will be the most impressive enough. But then you think about how he can go from either going full speed to stopping on a dime and pulling off for a jump shot, or finishing at the rim with more intensity than anyone I've ever seen. He's also one of the best rebounding point guards in the world. There's no statistics or metrics that can really measure just how athletic Westbrook is. Number 7, Bol Bol. Bol Bol is son of a former NBA player, Manu Bol, with 7'7" height. He's been a freaking nature since he was born. 6'5" in 7th grade, 6'10" by 14, and 7'2" by the time he was a senior in high school. Everyone knew he would be tall, but no one knew he would be unique as an athlete, as he turned out to be. Bol Bol is one of the most paralyzing players in the world since his senior season in high school, and what's making him into the most diverse players currently in the NBA. Number 6, Bamba. He got all the tools to be great, and that's why he was drafted 6th overall, not necessarily because of how good is he now, but because of his potential to his overall size and athleticism. He has the largest wingspan and standing reach out of any recorded NBA player outside of Tacko Fall, which is impressive. He also ran a faster 3/4 score sprint than Russell Westbrook, John Wall, Kemba Walker, and Dwayne Wade. He's also a smart player that can shoot the 3 and has crazy athleticism. Number 5, Zion Williamson. He's clearly one of the players most known for being a freak athlete today, and you could tell just by looking at him. He's really one of a kind athlete that no other past or present player lived up to his combined size, strength, speed, and athleticism. LeBron James, John Kemp, Blake Griffin, and Larry Johnson are just athletic with similar body types to Zion. but none weigh as much as he does and are able to do exactly what he can. Charles Barkley matches up in stature almost exactly to Zion, but even he said that was because he was fat, which is something that Zion isn't. Zion Williamson is really a freak of nature that no one exactly looked like him. He was a 6'3" that weighed 175 pounds when he was a freshman in high school, and over the next 2 years he proceeded to grow 5 inches and gain 100 pounds. Now in any normal human body, that'll be a scary sight to see, but for Zion it was really a superhuman experience, because the more his body grew, the more he was able to jump higher, run faster, and got strong altogether. And then you add his 40-inch vertical jump and his ability to dunk from the free throw line, and all of this combined is really what puts him as one of the NBA's biggest freak of natures today. Number 4, Kawhi Leonard. His raw physical attributes make him a no-brainer. Leonard has an 87.75-inch wingspan, which roughly calculates to 7'3". For a 6'7" small forward, that sort of a length is unmatched. But what makes Leonard an even more devastating wing defender is that he has massive mitts. Leonard's hands are massive at 11.5 wide. According to Draft Express, Leonard's hand width is the 3rd largest in their database. Not only does Leonard possess the ideal proportions for a perimeter player in today's NBA, but his leaping ability isn't half bad either. With how dominant Leonard was last season on both ends of the floor and how he carried the Raptors to a championship this year, he's just a freak of nature. Number 3, Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant always drew a lot of hate because of the fact that he was a bit of a tweener for a big man, being considered as much as a skinny guy that could shoot pretty well. Needless to say, he's found a way to use his huge wingspan to become a top-tier rim protector. Listed at 6'11", most people believe he's actually a 7-footer. He doesn't have much of a vertical jump but moves very quickly with the ball, and with the same agility as most guards. Not to mention the fact that he's an incredible prolific shooter for a guy of his size. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis Antetokounmpo isn't called the Greek freak just because it rhymes. Giannis is perfectly built for the game of basketball, as he could easily play all 5 positions in the court with great ease. To put him in perspective, he's as tall as Dwight Howard but moves as smoothly as a guard. The Greek freak can dunk from the free throw line and run a fast break with just a couple of steps due to his incredible wingspan. He's long, athletic, and getting stronger by the day, and he'll go down as one of the most explosive players of this era for sure. Also, his hands are about 12 inches long, which is an entire ruler. He also has a 40-inch vertical, and at his highest jump, he can get his hands 26 inches over the rim on a dunk or block attempt. Giannis can still hang from the rim and touch the ground at the same time. That's just crazy to think about, and he's definitely a freak of nature. And number 1, LeBron James. LeBron James is a 6'8" guy that also has 260 pounds of pure muscle, and he's just pretty much stronger than most human beings. He's also been known for being a point forward for his entire career, and the fact that he's always had his team's playbook at the back of his head has always made him a coach in the hardwood. James has a 40-inch vertical and even thrived at football during his high school years. He's got the ability to pretty much jump over centers and posterize everybody, as well as the skill set and the intelligence to play all 5 spots on the court. Also entering his 15th season, he had the best year of his career. LeBron once might have gained 7 pounds from the start of a game until the end when he played with the Miami Heat during an Eastern Conference game. He went up from 271 pounds to 278 pounds. That's just crazy. LeBron responded with a weird-ass heck answer, since you are supposed to lose pounds in a game instead of gaining. He once turned his ankle nearly 90 degrees during a game and still ended up the game with a triple-double. This man is inhuman. And that concludes the video. Who do you think is the greatest freak of athlete currently in the NBA? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, subscribe for new, and click the bell to get notified of my future videos. I hope everyone has a great day. Peace out.